I appreciate you very much. The questions that were raised here, they are questions that are weighty. They are questions that are very valid. They are questions that are also going to assist us, even when we're looking at our standard operating procedures and so forth. So I really, really appreciate your contribution. The questions that you asked, they are very, very important to us. Secondly, Mr. Speaker, sir, let me say that when I was being vetted by Parliament, I did inform the Parliament that I will operate within the frameworks of the law. And I demand the same from my officers, the members of the National Police Service, to operate within the frameworks of the law. That is the reason why myself as the Inspector General and the leadership of the National Police Service, we are pained by the loss of the late Uongo in our police cells there. We are pained. As a parent, I'm also pained for losing young Uongo. I feel pained. Now, when we go to the questions, the first question was by Honorable Senator Okechi. The circumstances that led to the death of the late Albert Uongo. These circumstances are being investigated by IPOA. And as my CS has said, let us give IPOA an opportunity so that they can quickly be able to investigate and tell us openly exactly what really happened. Number two, there was this report of Albert having hit his head against the wall. That is the information that came, the primary information that came from the same station. But in the subsequent press briefing that I did, that was rectified, and in fact, we can even be able to see it very, very clearly by the results of the investigations. There was this question that was asked by Honorable Senator Medho. Why was he taken to Bagathi and not Kenyatta National Hospital, which probably could be a little bit near? Let me say this. Both of them are government hospitals, both Kenyatta and Bagathi Hospital. Maybe for the officers who are taking him to hospital, they made a decision to take him to Bagathi, but both of them are government hospitals. And we believe that they have got what it takes to treat a sick person. Then there is also this question of the interdiction of the officers. Why is it that the Inspector General did interdict the officers immediately? The reasons as to why I did interdict the officer commanding Central Police Station, the duty officer of the night when the late Albert Uongo lost his life, the officers who are manning the report office,
IG just pause. Yes, what's your intervention, Senator Fokelefe?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I can see he has now going to be answering those questions which were asked. I had a question as to why was he not arrested, charged, or put whatever in a custody or something like that in Homa Bay? Why did he have to travel all the way from Homa Bay to Nairobi and ended up losing his life here?
Senator Fokelefe, the IG has a list of all those questions. He will get to yours. Just be patient. Proceed, IG.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker, sir. This question was actually asked by Honorable Senator Medho, as to why I did interdict these officers, because these were the officers who were on duty there. And we wanted to ensure that once the IPOA takes over, the investigations are smooth and there's no one who is going to interfere with those investigations. That's why we wanted them to step aside and allow free investigation, because we wanted expeditious investigations to be carried out. We wanted to know who is this or who are these who committed that heinous crime. And we want to know it as quickly as possible. There was the question from for Bonharwere. That one has been answered by my CS. Then the question from Honorable Senator Manzayo. Why Albert Ojwang was arrested in Homa Bay and why he had to be transported up to Nairobi. This question, the DCI is going to answer it very, 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 very clearly as to the reasons why he was transported from Homa Bay up to Nairobi. But basically, it is because in Nairobi, that is where the offense was actually committed, but DCI is going to give more details on that. Why the CCTVs were again interfered with? That is another question that was also asked by Senator Masayo. The Independent Police Oversight Authority is investigating the entire scene of crime. And they are going to tell us exactly what happened with the CCTVs. And if there is anyone who was involved in that, then punishment must be meted to an officer of that nature. So the same case applies to the question, who are these police officers who committed the crime of murder to the late Albert Ojwang? Again, we are waiting for answers from IPOA, who are right now investigating the same. And we are looking forward to the resolution of that issue soonest possible, because it's something that have actually captured the entire country into what happened on that date. The question from Honorable Senator Kajwang. Now, this question of withdrawing and apologizing to the Senate and the country on the question of the late Ojwang, Ojwang having committed, hit his head on the walls. I think, as I said from the word go, we allow the IPOA to investigate, and they are going to give us concrete answers, because I have already indicated that in the subsequent media briefings that I did, that situation was actually corrected.
IG.
On whether...
IG, you need to respond to that question in a better way. This was the question by Senator Kajwang, that through your official communication, the first information you put out there to the public was that the young man had hit his head against the wall and therefore died. Later on, after the autopsy was carried out, it was found to be totally different. The question that the senator then rose to ask was, would you, having put that communication to the public that the young man hit his head on the wall and died, would you withdraw that particular communication and proceed to apologize to the nation? That was the question the Honorable Senator asked. If you're unable to do that, you can also, that's also an answer.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. On that question, let me say this. Number one, if in the ongoing investigations by the IPOA investigators, we get to know the truth, the officers who issued the initial report that we relied upon, then they will have to face disciplinary proceedings as provided for by the regulations by providing incorrect information. So we are awaiting the outcome of the investigations of IPOA in that.
IG, we've had the benefit of hearing the representative of IPOA in the morning, and they were very categorical on what caused the death of this young man. What more do you want to hear?
Mr. Speaker, sir, from what we have heard here from the IPOA, although we have not yet gotten that report, we will proceed on and take appropriate measures on the officer who gave the primary report on that material day.
We have taken note. IG, proceed.
Then there was also the second question.
Honorable Senators, I think we are doing pretty well now. We are doing very well. What is your intervention, Honorable Mungatana? Now, IG, the reason why you are attracting a lot of intervention is because you do not want to open up and just tell the senators exactly what happened. We are here to hear the truth. Just give us the truth, and there'll be minimal interventions. Proceed.
Mr. Speaker, I have a lot of respect for the current IGP. In fact, a very professional police officer. But I wanted to remind him, the Constitution has given us, under Article 238, the principles of national security. Mr. Speaker, on 238(2)(c), it says, in performing the functions and exercising their powers, national security organs shall respect the diverse culture of the communities within Kenya. And Honorable Senator Kajwang has said, to imply suicide from his cultural background, it is attracting a huge stigmatization of that family. So I'm inviting the IGP to offer an unconditional apology to the Senate in view of the post-mortem report that has been made public. And then we proceed, Mr. Speaker.
Mungatana is clear. IG.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker, sir. It is true, as Senator Mungatana has said, that going by the report that we have gotten from IPOA, that it is not true, he did not hit his head against the wall, but that is the report that we had from the word go. I tell my apology on behalf of the National Police Service because of that information.